Good morning, guys. So, in the last class, we started endpoint security or endpoint protection. So, we discussed about how the projects will come, what is the backend process, and what is the entire lifecycle management project, how to get it. So, now we can go on, we can start about each and every solution. So, what is the licensing option, design, implementation, and finally, operational support of the respective each and every tool. So, let's start. First solution is antivirus and EDR. So I will keep here XDR as well. So this is the first solution dedicated to EDR. Also, there are a lot of vacancies that are available in the market. So starting with implementation side, and also even in the operational support like L1, L2, and L3 side as well. So recently, Google is recruited, Microsoft is recruited, PwC is recruited, Genpact is recruited for dedicated to EDR vacancies only. Okay, let's start here. So first, what is EDR? You know already. So full form is endpoint detection response. So what exactly EDR will do? It will prevent and block all malware category of the attacks. So whatever malware execution is happening through phishing email malware attachment downloading or drive-by downloads, or maybe through copying some of the malware files via pen drive or memory stick or external hard disk. Whenever these abnormal or malicious or suspicious content is happening, our EDR tool, it will detect and also it will block that particular activity. So based on the signature based or based on the machine learning capability or based on the heuristic approach or based on the sandboxing environment. So that is the importance of the EDR. So how we can define this EDR now? So EDR tool or EDR solution, it will prevent, block, quarantine, and safeguard all malware category of the attacks. So you know already what are the all malware category of the attacks. We discussed around 15 to 18, like a virus, swarm, Trojan, ransomware, adware, spyware, potential unwanted program, logic bomb, rootkit, keyloggers. So all these will fall under the malware category of the attacks. So now here sources of the malware. So how the malware infection is entering into the organization side. So obviously, as I said, one is the drive-by downloads. So second one is through malicious malware attachment via phishing email malware attachments. Third one is through removable devices, copying of the files through removable devices. So here drive-by downloads is one of the interview question. What is meant by download? Drive-by download. So downloading something from the any websites or any application related to malicious files is called as a drive-by download. Okay. Now these are the sources of the malware. Now malware category, you know already. So I am not giving once again what is the malware and what are the different types of malware category of the attacks are appearing part of our so category of the attacks. Now, if you want to purchase any EDR or antivirus or XDR tool, what we have to do first of all? So we have to gather the all the endpoints information. So whatever customer requirement do they have, either it is a multinational company or maybe it is a consulting company or maybe whether it is a product based company, it is applicable to both. It is applicable to both consulting and service based company or maybe it is applicable to so product based company or service based company. So first thing is we have to identify how many endpoints are there. So first thing is the gathering of the how many endpoints are there. Those endpoints, once again, we have to do the category of the endpoints. So first requirement for any EDR implementation is gathering of the endpoints. So EDR implementation requirement. So first thing is what we have to do. We have to gather the how many number of endpoints are there in the respective so customer or client location part. Gather the how many number of endpoints are end user machines or assets are available. So here there are different types of flavors of the operating system we do have. So first thing is we have endpoints like one is Microsoft related operating system flavors. Second one is iOS related. So nothing but MacBook. In the similar way, Unix operating systems related as well. So we have to categorize all these endpoints. For example, maybe 10,000 endpoints overall. So these 10,000 endpoints, so maybe dedicated to Microsoft laptop, workstation, desktop, and servers. Altogether, we have to form one operating system. I'm repeating once again, all the Microsoft operating system oriented assets or devices, we have to gather like one operating system. So for example, Microsoft laptop or Microsoft workstation or Microsoft desktop, in the similar Microsoft servers also. So all those endpoints we have to categorize like one asset group. So for example, maybe 6,000. So Microsoft related endpoints. In the similar way, MacBook related to iOS, maybe 2,000. So remaining Unix operating system related like Red Hat Enterprise Linux or CentOS or maybe SUSE or Peroda or Docker or Ubuntu or container, all those are remaining 2,000. So why we have to classify this one? Whenever if you want to install EDR agent in our endpoints, so we have to categorize these operating system wise. Why? Because so if you are installing EDR agent of Microsoft into Linux, compatibility issues will occur. Obviously, we cannot install Microsoft related EDR agent to Unix operating system. In the similar way, MacBook related EDR agent we cannot install in the Microsoft based operating system. So that's why we have to do the category of the respect to assets. So this one we can call it as asset group or device group. Grouping of the similar type of endpoints, we can call it as asset group or device group or endpoint group. So what is asset group or device group? Grouping of similar type of operating system of the endpoints is called as asset group or device groups. Whenever if you want to do the antivirus updates or EDR updates in the similar way, so EDR agent updates also, if you want to upgrade the version, so we have to create a policy for different types of operating system. For example, here we already categorized Microsoft, iOS and Unix. So then we have to push all those updates to all the endpoints. So why? Because if the large scale industries or maybe enterprise based industries, what is the difference between small versus medium versus enterprise level? Small is nothing but like a startup companies and users will be existing in between 0 to 1000. So those companies we can call it small scale industries. In the similar medium scale industry business companies like 1000 to 10,000, so those companies we can call it as a medium scale. For example, Swiggy or Zomato or PhonePe, so these will fall under the medium scale industries. So more than 10,000 of employees are existing in the organization, those companies we can call it as enterprise level. It's a very big organizations. For example, maybe State Bank of India, HDFC Bank or Apollo hospitals, all these will fall under the enterprise level. So now whenever if you want to do the installation or implementation side, so obviously large number of endpoints are there, we have to do so everything like a automated way. If you are going and doing the manual way, it will take a lot of time. So I will explain all those things. So now asset group is device group is nothing but grouping of the similar type of endpoints. So with the same operating system, we can call it as asset group or device group. So after gathering all these endpoints now, so as per the Gartner report, so whatever leader position of the respective vendor is available, we can go and we can validate technical parameters. In the similar way, financial parameters as well. When you say financial parameters, how much cost it is involved to implement for these 10,000 endpoints EDR implementation side. Okay. So now licensing option. So how we can define the EDR licensing, not only just EDR licensing, this is applicable to all EDR solution. That may be antivirus or EDR or DLP or encryption or file integrity monitoring, or maybe so even HADS, HAPS capability as well. So all endpoint security solutions licensing is depending on how many number of end user machines are there or endpoints are there. So according to that one, we can go and we can purchase our EDR tool. So what is mean by this number? How many number of endpoints? So as I said, for example, in our scenario, 10,000 endpoints. For these 10,000 endpoints, we have to purchase our EDR solution. So one EDR agent licensing. So depending on once again what type of organization you are, whether you are belongs to small scale industry or medium scale industry or enterprise level. Enterprise level licensing is a little bit less cost as compared to small and medium. It's like a wholesale and also normal retail shops. So if you are going to wholesale shop, obviously they will give more discount. If you are going to normal shop, they will give less discount. So if more number of endpoints are there in the organization side, obviously, respective vendor, they will give the cost is very less. Maybe less number of the endpoints are there in the organization side, they will charge a little bit more. So it's like licensing option. All these are called licensing options. So now coming back here, take example of one EDR licensing cost is $5. So now here, how many endpoints are there? Total 10,000 endpoints. 10,000 into $5. So altogether, we have 50,000 USD dollars. So now we have to pay this 50,000 USD dollars to our respective vendor. That may be CrowdStrike, or that may be Sentinel One, that may be so Trend Micro or McAfee or Sophos and so on. So now once we are giving this particular invoice copy to them or purchase order to them, then they will share one of the license key to us. So after sharing that license key and also after purchasing the tool, now we have to start configuring of the tool. So we have to assign the IP address and we have to assign the subnet mask and we have to log in the tool. So once again, here deployment is different types of deployments are existing. Let's go and discuss about in-depth analysis of deployment side now. So now, for example, as I said, for 10,000 endpoints, total overall cost it is involved 50,000. So for each and every EDR agent, whatever antivirus we are purchasing, so one EDR agent cost is $5. 5 into 10,000 is nothing but 50,000. So now licensing, how we can define here. Please remember, guys, if you want to go to software architect or security architect or solution architect, or if you want to go to implementation also, all these things you have to remember. Solution architect or security architect basically will take care of these things only. So how the license should be calculated, what is mean by BOM, billing of material, or BOQ, billing of the quantity. So these things only they will validate, even pre-sales team also. So they will gather the requirement and so they will propose the solution. How much cost is involved? So these things also you should be aware of if you want to go into either pre-sales or sales or maybe solution architect wise. So how we can define all endpoint security or EDR solution licensing option based on how many number of endpoints are existing. So according to that one, now once we are giving that count to vendor, now vendor will propose the overall cost, how much it is involved. Maybe you are working is on behalf of vendor in any consulting and service based company. Now you have to propose the solution. So maybe now you are a part of TCS company and you are proposing so CrowdStrikes to all the customers all over the worldwide or across the universe. What are projects TCS is getting? Now you should contact CrowdStrike vendor, and so this is the deal we are going to register in our partner portal. So after that, they will give some discount on top of the whatever cost they are providing CrowdStrike. You have to add additional buffer. So because TCS has to get some profit, right? So then you can propose that solution to the respective customer or client. So then finally, whoever is ordering the project. So once TCS getting the project, respect to TCS company has to go under respect to security architect, they have to design HLD and LLD. And later, so TCS implementation team has to implement the CrowdStrike solution in the customer location. And once completion of the respect implementation site, so respect to TCS, EDR, L1 team, L2 team, and L3 team, they will take care of the operational support of whatever contract they awarded. So this is the way how the overall process. So now how the licensing is depending on based on how many number of assets are there. For those assets, we have to purchase our EDR tool. So that is about licensing option. Next one is design. How we can design this particular EDR tool. So for this one, I will go to draw.io. So this is our EDR tool. So this tool may be either hardware-based EDR tool or maybe SaaS-based EDR tool, pay as you go, or maybe we can purchase dedicated EDR software on top of the either Windows server or Unix server we can install. So there are three different types of deployments we can do it. One is hardware-based, second is software-based, third is SaaS-based. So these are the three different types of deployments. So once again, deployment-wise also, whether it is a standalone deployment or a distributed deployment, it depends. So now EDR tool here. This is our laptop, for example. So this is our MacBook. This is our workstation. So next one is desktop. In the similar way, Windows Server. So in the similar way, Linux server or Unix. Now, after purchasing the licensing, what we have to do? So here Windows operating system is different and Windows laptop operating system is different. Windows workstation is different. So Windows desktop is different. These four are like a similar type of operating system. Now, once we are purchasing the licensing option, so our vendor, they will give EDR software agent. So it's a piece of software file. For example, you download a Wireshark tool, you download Nmap tool. It's a piece of software file. You went to Nmap website, nmap.org, and you downloaded Nmap file. In the similar, you went to Wireshark website and you download Wireshark file. So that is a piece of software file. Now this piece of software file in our endpoint security side, we can call it as a sensor or else agent. So what is the EDR agent meaning here? EDR or antivirus agent or XDR agent as well. It's a piece of software file provided by vendor. So this piece of software file only we have to install on each and every end user system. So now here example, I cannot draw all the 10,000 endpoints, whatever example I have taken. So here just I given 6 assets information. One is Windows Server, laptop, MacBook, workstation, desktop, Unix. So now what we have to do? So we have to install piece of software in each and every operating system. It's like a EDR agent. This one we can call it as EDR agent or maybe antivirus agent or XDR agent. And now each and every system we have to install this EDR agent. And after installing at the time of the installation also, we have to open the port numbers. So port numbers, why we have to open for communication side. So already we discussed about one of the concept in the networking side. ports and protocols. So what are these ports and protocols? Ports are a software defined number. It can be used against what is service running or application running. What is the protocol? Protocol, it's like a rules and regulation. It can be used for communication purpose. So if you are opening the port, then only communication will happen between endpoints or assets to our EDR tool. Otherwise, it will not communicate. So most of the port numbers either 9093 or 443. So these two numbers only they will use, but it depends on vendor as well. So how they developed the vendor tool. So according to that one also, these port numbers it will vary, but most of the case secure port number is 443. So using that one only, this EDR agent will communicate to EDR tool. So now after installing this EDR agent, continuously EDR agent or antivirus agent or XDR agent, it will communicate to EDR tool. So for 1000 machines deploying EDR agent manual way, it is simple only. But what about 10,000 machines or 1 lakh machines or 10 lakh machines? Deploying EDR agent for each and every location and also each and every system, it will take longer time. So I will go and I will explain that one as well. So now this EDR agent continuously 24/7, it will communicate to EDR tool. Now, whenever these employees in the Windows server, one of the Windows admin guy, he is copying some of the files. Maybe that file has any malware infection. Now, EDR agent, what it will do? It will communicate to EDR tool stating that my Windows admin guy, so is configuring or is copying some of the files. That file has a malware infection. That communication it will inform to EDR tool. Now what EDR tool it will do based on the policies configuration. So in the EDR tool, we will configure different types of policies. So according to that policies now, either that malware infection, whatever Windows admin guy is configuring or maybe is copying the file, that alert will go to EDR tool. Now based on these policies, now what EDR will do, it will do action. What type of action it will do? Either it will do blocking of that particular malware infection, or maybe it will do quarantining of that malware infection, or maybe it will do cleaning of that infection, or maybe it will allowing of the infection. So this is the way how the EDR policies can be configured. So these are the EDR actions can be taken care. So, but based on what parameter EDR is identifying malware really it is infecting, whether really infection is available in that particular file, based on what parameter, it will validate. So based on the different types of detection methods, basically. So those detection methods are, without detection method, any tool, it will not identify infection, or it will not identify, or it will not block, or it will not quarantine. So based on the policies and based on the detection methods, based on these two parameters only, any tool basically either it will give the alert notification, or maybe it will give the so blocking of that particular malware infection, or maybe it will cleaning of that infection, or maybe it will do quarantine as well. So there are two things are very important. So one is policies we have to configure in the EDR tool. So in the EDR tool, we have to enable the policies. By default, every vendor will provide default policies. Either if you want to use default policies, our wish. Otherwise, we can go and we can do customization policies as well according to our requirement. So there are two different types of policies. One is default policies or rules, or second one is customized one. So couple of policies, what are the policies we have to configure in generic? Whatever I'm saying in generic, now whatever tool we are going to discuss in future, that may be CrowdStrike or Sophos. So according to that one, there we can discuss about policies point of view. So now what are the policies generic wise each and every EDR tool is supporting? One is threat prevention. So this threat prevention policy has so inbuilt malware identification, blocking, as well as quarantining. So all those things can be part of the threat prevention. Additionally, even it contains inbuilt HADS, HAPS capability as well. Malware along with HADS, HAPS capability. Okay. So otherwise, so couple of vendors, they will create separate policy for HADS, HAPS. So this is the first policy. In the similar way, so second policy, app control. So what is this app control? Whenever any applications, end user, so all these end users like HR team or legal team, Windows team or Unix team or machine learning team or data science team or testing tools team or network admin team or any employee. So they are trying to access any application. So now EDR has a capability whether that application is a malicious oriented application or else it's a non-malicious one. So here it can identify application category wise as well. So here application control meaning here either it will do whitelisting of the application or blocklisting of the application. So when the end user, maybe he is going to GitHub, or maybe he is going to Jenkins, or maybe he is going to maybe Ibama, maybe he is going to YouTube application, maybe he is going to Facebook. So now EDR, it will validate whatever end user is accessing the application. So whether it is malicious content related application or else non-malicious. In case it's a malicious one, automatically it will block that particular application based on the whatever policy we configured. In case it is non-malicious one, obviously it will allow that particular activity or action, whatever end user is doing. So that is called app control. So whitelisting of the application and blocklisting of the application. In the similar way, we have one more option is called web control. So what is this web control? So whatever websites or domains we are accessing, so that particular domain or website, once again, whether it is legitimate or illegitimate. So EDR, we have to configure. So those websites related whitelisting websites and blocklisting. With whomever we are doing business, those websites we have to allow. Remaining all of the things we have to block. Maybe one of the application, it's a business purpose. One of the development guy is accessing. Unfortunately, our EDR tool is blocking. Now what he has to do? He has to raise a request to either firewall team or EDR team stating that I am not able to access the website. Now our EDR team or firewall team, they can go and they can verify whatever website development team is accessing, whether it is legitimate or illegitimate. In case it's legitimate, they will do whitelisting because business is also very, very important. So you are a security person doesn't mean that always you have to think about security. Even you have to think about business. At the end of the day, profits and losses of the organization is very, very important. Clear? So web control. So web control meaning here, so whitelisting of the websites and blocklisting of the websites. So we have to enable that policy as well. And even our EDR tool, it will do basic DLP. What is this basic DLP basically? Uh, so when I say basic DLP, peripheral control and device control. Whenever the end user is copying some of the files through pen drive or memory stick or maybe external hard disk or maybe through floppy disk, in that scenario, so in case that files contains any confidential data, so then it will throw alert notification. So and so person is inserting pen drive to the our laptop or MacBook or workstation or desktop. Some of the illegal things is trying to do. So our EDR agent, it will communicate with EDR tool, and based on this DLP policy, it will generate alert notification. So and so person is trying to do some of the illegitimate activity. In the similar way, we can create peripheral control or device control. So peripheral is nothing but whatever opposite devices we are connecting to our laptop. So neighbor devices. What are the neighbor devices will connect? Either will connect mobile, either will connect pen drive, either will connect memory stick, or whether will connect external hard disk. All these things. So device control. So something they are trying to copy or something they are trying to bidirectional way of copying of the files. Everything will fall on device control. It's one type of DLP as well. And additionally, we have to configure sixth one. So we have to configure additional thing is file integrity monitoring, FIM. So nowadays, whatever EDR tool we are purchasing, it has a basic functionality, basic DLP and basic file integrity monitoring also. So as I said, why we have to monitor integrity? Whenever any malware is executing any insider machine of the laptop or any endpoint or any asset. So based on the cyber process, after transport or delivery, so here exploitation. So installation, attacker will identify the weakness and later he will try to install that particular malware infection into the end user machine. So finally command and control will go to the attacker. So right, so here when the malware is executing as an installation phase, after identifying the vulnerability, so attacker will inject malware. So that particular time, so whenever he is installing, nothing but he is adding the file, he is executing the file. So is nothing but he's something he's doing the configuration oriented part automatically. So our files oriented integrity can be identified and alert will be triggered in our EDR tool. So and so person is trying to do something related to file execution part. So that is fire basic fire integrity monitoring also it will do. So that is the reason we have to monitor whether internal employee is trying to do executing of the files, whether external attacks trying to do. Based on the classification of the IP address, based on the alert notification, we can identify whether internal employee is trying to do or else external attack is trying to do based on the IP address range. So next one is update management. So what is this update management? So regularly, so our malwares will be millions and billions of the malwares or virus or worm or frozen, it will appear. So those things it will be there in the news. So getting that information, we can call it a threat intelligence feeds. So daily basis, someone is posting in our WhatsApp group. So one of the Google zero-day vulnerability is existing, one of the Blocksmith malware and Clean malware or ransomware attack and so on. So these regular updates, we can call it as a threat intelligence feeds. We have a couple of tools also available to get those feeds. For example, IBM X-Force or Logarithm. So threat intelligence feeds or CrowdStrike or Checkpoint or Palo Alto. So in this similar way, so CSPM related tools are Mandiant. All these are threat intelligence related news, we will get it. Otherwise, we can go and we can verify in the manual way also, either dark reading or CSO online or hacker news and so on. So, but it's better to get via through any other automated tool. So for that one, we have a lot of tools available in the market as well, like a CSK and also Mandiant and Vivavo. So these are all the couple of, so threat intelligence regular feeds will get. For that one, we have to pay money as well. That is a commercial feeds basically. So whenever these regular updates we are getting, what our EDR vendor will do, they will continuously, they have their R&D team. When you say R&D, research and development team, their engineering team, they will go and they will verify whether it is a known category of the attack or unknown category of the attack. It's a known category of the attack, automatically they will put in the database of the vendor, for example, CrowdStrike or Sophos or Sentinel-1 or Microsoft Defender and so on. In case unknown category, they will do the exploitation of that particular attack and they will create one of the signature. And finally, they will update their database. So not only that one is regular antivirus updates. Second one is our EDR agent or antivirus agent. Always EDR agent or antivirus is not like a constant in nature. So they will continuously upgrade their features. So for example, maybe, so you will see couple of times WhatsApp new feature it's added, PhonePe new feature it's added, Facebook new feature it's added. So regularly they will update their features as well. Same way, so our EDR agent also regularly they will upgrade according to the trending of the market, how the attacks are happening. So maybe today our Microsoft Defender EDR agent version may be 1.1. So maybe next month they will release 1.2. Maybe in the October or November month they will release 1.3. In such a way they'll upgrade EDR agent version as well. So EDR tool version is different, EDR agent version is different. It's like a software, right? So continuously they will upgrade. So continuously they will develop. It's like a continuous development and continuous integration part. So update management here. So one type of updates will get regular antivirus or EDR updates, whatever it's happening all over the worldwide or across the universe. Second thing is our EDR agent versions or our EDR tool versions. So those things is part of update management. So these are all the different types of policies by default. Every vendor it will support. If you want to do customization, yes, we can do. So water policy, just we can go and we can edit those policies. So in the similar way, detection methods, these are all policies now, or rules or protocols, all are same. But in sim tool terminology, we can call it as a correlation rule or use cases. Now detection methods. What are the detection methods? These detection methods are important. Without detection methods, any tool, it's like a dummy tool only, it will not work at all and it will not block any infection. So what are the detection methods it will follow? One is signature based. So this is applicable to every tool. So every tool will support signature. What is mean by signature? It's like a matching the criteria or condition. So maybe take example. So our school register. So maybe we are studying in the same school with the same class. So number one is belongs to, so maybe Muddu Kumar. Number two is belongs to Sandeep. Number three is belongs to Ramesh. Number four is belongs to Priyanka. Now, as a teacher, whenever I will call rule number one, Muddu Kumar will respond back. Whenever I will call number two, Sandeep will respond back. Whenever I will call number three, so Ramesh will respond back. It's like a signature. We are matching that particular condition along with the name. Same way for each and every attack. So whatever condition or pattern it is there, we have to match that one and we have to maintain our database. We no need to maintain, vendor automatically they will update their database. That is called signature basically. So so this is for known category of the attacks only. So signature is the basically known category of the attacks only. It will identify, it will cross check the vendor database and automatically either it will do the action. Either maybe it will do the blocking of the action, either it will do the quarantining of the action, or either it will do so alerting of the action, or maybe it will do cleaning of the action. So that is called signature. So almost each and every tool that may be firewall or proxy or web application firewall, including SIM tool as well. So these signatures are common. Okay. So second one is we'll discuss in-depth analysis. Don't worry. So second one is behavioral pattern or machine learning or artificial intelligence capability. So what is the behavior? Whenever we are installing EDR tool, so our EDR agent will understand about end user action, end user activity. So today maybe end user is accessed Facebook. Now suddenly it will throw an error alert notification stating that so end user is trying to do some of the malicious activity. And tomorrow once again same end user is accessing Facebook once again. So once again it will check in the past whether this end user is access Facebook or not. It will check and it will verify. So in the past, whether this type of activity has done by end user. In case it has done, it will compare with the past data. So that is pattern of the behavior of the end user. So now maybe tomorrow also once again alert notification will be triggered. So day after tomorrow also once again end user is accessing facebook.com. Now once again that history is available, past data is available. So now in such a way, machine can be understand. So what is the user activity? What is the behavior pattern of the activity end user is trying to do? So after some of the time period, automatically, so that particular activity is legitimate. That is the reason every day continuously end user is accessing. So this is like user entity behavioral analytics based on the user activity, based on the entity activity, whatever action they are trying to do. So on the daily basis, This EDR has a capability of machine can be lent based on the what is the user action daily is trying to do, whether he's doing same activity daily basis or new activity. Whenever any new activity end user is trying to do, automatically alert will be triggered. So always whenever a new or unknown category of the attack it's happening, obviously it's a new, it's unknown category. So whenever these category of the attacks it is appearing to our end user related actions, our behavioral pattern or machine learning or artificial intelligence capability, our EDR agent will communicate to EDR tool, and based on this detection method, automatically whenever new category of the attack it's happened, alert will be triggered. Now we have to go and we have to verify whether really that particular alert will be legitimate or illegitimate, false positive or true positive. So that is the reason this behavioral pattern and machine learning, artificial intelligence is very useful for unknown or new category of the attacks. Whenever any new things end user is trying to do, automatically alert will be triggered. Okay, so that is second one. So this particular concept is applicable to SIM tool as well. That concept we can call it as UBA, user entity behavioral analytics. Next one is sandboxing environment. What is the sandboxing environment? So whenever if you want to do the static analysis of the malware or a dynamic analysis of the malware, before you are raising a query with the vendor, you have to do some couple of checks. So for example, one of the end user is downloaded the file. So that file I cannot copy from his machine to my machine, and in my machine I cannot do the analysis part. Otherwise my system will get compromised. But anyway, nowadays EDR, we can do everything from the EDR tool itself by do the containment and network isolation and everything. So we can take the file from there itself. But before traditional antivirus concept came at that particular time, so we don't have the accessing to the end user machine through our traditional antivirus tool. So that time we have to take the file, so using password protected file, and we have to send that file to our system and we have to analyze. I cannot analyze in my system, otherwise my system will get compromised in case that file has any infection. So that is the reason what we have to do. We have to create one of the testing environment. Some of the testing of the samples are like a workstation or desktop, and we have to update our regular feeds from EDR tool. There we have to go and we have to analyze. So that particular partitioning of the so environment, we can call it as sandboxing environment. There we can go and we can analyze our malware infection of the files. So next one is heuristic approach. So what is this heuristic approach? It is basically part of the any program execution part. When you say programming execution, that may be any development languages like a PowerShell execution or Python execution or Perl execution or maybe LOLWINS execution part. So any program oriented execution, it can be identified based on the heuristic approach part. So last one, baseline method. What is this baseline method? So after installing our EDR tool, based on the user actions and activity, based on the server action and activity, based on the application action and activity, it can form the baseline after observing the traffic. So for example, as I said previously, peak hours and off peak hours. So on an average, it will make like a threshold. So here, based on the activity of the end user and non-activity of the end user, it will form a baseline. Whenever the baseline is crossing the traffic, it will conclude that EDR tool has a abnormal activities going on by end user. Why the peaks of the traffic it is appearing in this particular time period? So what is happening? So that baseline, for example, maybe so in 10th standard, so out of 100 marks, 35% marks is our pass mark. So 30%, 35% is like our base mark now, our baseline. So same way here, based on the activity of the end user or actions of the end user, based on the peak or non-peak hours, it will form a baseline. Whenever the baseline is crossing the traffic, automatically alert will be triggered. Some of the illegitimate activities done doing by end user. I mean, some of the illegal activity is doing by attacker on behalf of the end user. That alert will be triggered automatically. Now we have to go and we have to verify whether really that particular activity is doing illegitimate wise or legitimate wise. So these are the detection methods. So based on the policies config, that doesn't mean that our EDR tool, it will go and it will block it. So compulsory detection methods are a mandatory to block all these category of the attacks. Every tool you can consider. So signature based behavioral pattern and machine learning capability is by default, it's common. That may be DLP, that may be web application firewall, that may be put any next generation firewall, or maybe network IDS, network IPS, or proxy, even including SIM tool as well. Okay. So now how we can define our EDR tool backend process. So how we can define EDR agent or antivirus agent or XDR agent, we have to install on each and every end user machine or asset. Whenever any abnormal or malicious or suspicious activity is trying to do by drive-by downloads or clicking on the malicious malware attachment, or maybe so copying of the files through pen drive or memory stick or any peripheral wise, so that EDR agent will communicate to EDR tool based on the policies configured, based on the detection methods, alert will be triggered under the dashboard or alerts tab of the EDR tool. Now as a L1, L2, L3 team, we will take care of the respective instant investigation or else forensic analysis. So that is the way how the EDR tool will work. So this is about backend process. I am repeating once again. So each and every end user system, we have to install EDR agent. That agent will communicate 24 bar 7 to 365 days to EDR tool. Whenever the internal employee or external attacker, they're trying to do malicious or abnormal or suspicious activity based on the drive-by downloads, based on the clicking on the malware attachment, based on the copying of the files through peripheral control, agent will communicate to EDR tool, and based on the policies configured and based on the detection methods, either EDR, it will take the actions related to quarantine, or alert will be triggered, or it will block, or maybe it will generate the notification. Now as a EDR analyst of L1, L2 and L3, we will take care of the instant investigation or forensic analysis to all malware category of the attack. So this is about backend process. This is implementation as well. Okay. So that is about overall how EDR tool it will work, how the design. So this is for standalone deployment. Standalone deployment meaning here for single location. Sorry. What about multiple locations now? So my headquarters is there in the Hyderabad. My branch office is there in the Bangalore, or maybe Chennai, or maybe Kolkata, or maybe Mumbai. In that scenario, how we can deploy? Wherever headquarters is available, there we have to deploy our EDR tool. And wherever branch offices are there, there we have to deploy our EDR agent. Okay, so this is the way how the deployment will be there for the respective distributed deployment, because more than one location is called distributed deployment. Okay, so now go back to our tool here, EDR agent. So EDR agent, as I said, this one will be provided by vendor. When I say vendor, whatever tool we are purchasing. If we are purchasing Microsoft Defender will provide our EDR agent. You are purchasing CrowdStrike EDR agent, it will provide. So it will vary EDR agent name from vendor to vendor. So example, CrowdStrike side. So EDR agent name is Falcon Sensor. Because of this one only, Microsoft got global outage just 1 month back. So Microsoft Defender. So Defender agent. Sophos. EDR, Sophos EDR agent. Trend Micro, EDR agent. So couple of times, as I said, agent is also referred as sensor. This is not only applicable to our endpoint security side, but also it is applicable to, in future we'll discuss about network IDS, network IPS, vulnerability management as well. There also we can say like a scanner, and also we can say sensor. So either sensor or agent, both are same. So these are all examples, couple of examples I given. In the similar McAfee agent, Sentinel-1 agent, and so on.
Excuse me, RK.
Yeah, please.
You told like if there are like 1 lakh uh,
Yeah.
systems or users, how to
Mm.
install in
Yeah.
all of them?
That I will explain. That I will explain. It's a very good question, logical question. I will explain.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So that is about what is mean by EDR or antivirus agent. Next one, EDR backend process, how it will work. So as I said, so whatever I have drawn this diagram, so this diagram, entire thing you have to explain. So starting with implementing of EDR agent and how the sources of the malware and whether internal employee is doing or external attacker is trying to do. Along with that one, agent will communicate to tool, and based on the policies and rules and based on the detection methods, EDR will do respective actions. Alert will be triggered or quarantine or allow or block the activity. So final notification will be triggered in the dashboard or maybe through direct incidents tab or alerts tab. So now as the respective EDR analyst of L1, L2, L3 will take care of the respective incident investigations related to malware. Okay, that entire process. So now after this class, I will write all this backend process. So EDR agent has to install on each and every end user machine or asset. That agent will communicate it to the EDR tool whenever any abnormal or malicious or suspicious activities happen. So based on the policies configured, based on the detection methods, alert will be triggered. So now as the L1, L2, L3 will take care of the respective instant investigation process. So that I will write after this class. So next one, EDR. EDR design is this one only. So same thing, it's for standalone. In case if it is distributed deployment, how the EDR design looks like. So this is like headquarters. Additionally, now we can install. So take example this Hyderabad location. Take this one example Bangalore location. And here now once again multiple assets will be there. So like a laptop, workstation, desktop. In this similar way, we have Chennai location. So take example yesterday, whatever example we have taken, SBI Bank, all over the India. So they have so many sub branches they have. So what are branch, each and every branch also they have to deploy EDR agent or antivirus agent on their desktop or their workstation. So now, so wherever Mumbai location data center is available, from there they can monitor everything, and whatever branch offices, wherever malware infection it's going on. So everything they will monitor from there. Okay. So in the similar way, so take example, this one is Mumbai. So now each and every place we have to deploy the EDR agent, whatever assets are available or endpoints are available. Now always alerts will be triggered in our main Hyderabad headquarters. So these agents will communicate through VPN, virtual private network, to our branch office through WAN connectivity. And whenever any end user or attacker they are trying to do malware infection on all these endpoints in the branch offices, this EDR agent will communicate to headquarters EDR tool. And based on these policies configured and based on these detection methods, alert will be triggered in the headquarters of the Hyderabad EDR tool. Now we can go and we can verify, so which branch office that particular alert is triggered, whether it is Hyderabad or Bangalore or Chennai or Mumbai. So we can go and we can identify based on the IP address, based on the username, and based on the computer name, or based on the host name. So we have to take the file name, file size, file path, file category, hash value of the file, everything. So anyway, that is in. So malware infection, how to do and how to clean, that we can discuss later. Now go back. EDR design, how we can say agent and server based approach. Agent and server, or else agent and tool based. So this is the EDR implementation or design. So how we can do EDR implementation? So agent and server based approach, or else agent and tool based approach. What is mean by this one? So we have to install the agent on each and every individual machine, that is agent, and server meaning here EDR tool. So this is called agent plus server based approach. So that is the process we can implement our EDR tool. Okay. So now deployment methods. What are the different deployment methods we can make here? Standalone for single location. So next one is distributed deployment for multiple locations. So that is about deployment methods here. So next one is deployment mechanisms or implementation mechanisms. So first thing is hardware based deployment. Second one is software based. Third one is SaaS based, software as a service. Nowadays, most of the EDR tool, email gateways, and also vulnerability management tools, except SIM tool, except firewall, proxy, network IDS, network IPS. So remaining all other tools are coming as SaaS. So SaaS is nothing but so software as a service. We no need to maintain any infrastructure. So everything we can purchase a tool. What a tool we are purchasing, for that one we have to pay money. That we can call the pay as you go. How much services you are utilizing, according to that one, you have to pay money. That is called SaaS. So software as a service. What is mean hardware based EDR implementation meaning here? So every vendor, they have hardware based module. We have to purchase that module and we have to deploy in our data center. So now our EDR agents we have to deploy. That EDR agent will communicate with through port and protocol to our EDR tool. In such a way, we have to do the network communication part. That is called hardware based. It's a physical hardware EDR tool. Next one, software based. We have to purchase the software EDR tool on top of Windows Server or on top of Unix Server. Obviously, Windows is very comfortable or user friendly to us. So we can deploy on top of the Windows Server. So that particular software, whatever we purchased. After that, we have to install that particular like a next and finish. So, and we have to open the tool and we have to configure the policies as well as assets and as well as detection methods. And finally, we can create dashboards and reports as well. So that is called software based deployment. So software as a service, as I said previously. So here tool we can purchase, and so whatever service we are utilizing for that one, we have to pay money. So for this one, we no need to maintain any infrastructure or physical devices or hardware based devices. So that is SaaS based. So these are the three different types of deployment methods. Nowadays, every vendor is supporting. Okay. So most of the public sector companies like police department or healthcare department or ministries or any public sector like a Supreme Court or a High Court, those people, they will not go to SaaS based tools. They will not trust because so somewhere we are installing the tool, some of the cloud service provider we are deploying the tool. So if you don't, if you are maintaining multi-tenant architecture, so we have to share our service some other customers as well. So I don't like to share with some other services like a multi-tenant. So I want dedicated to my organization EDR tool. So it's not like a shared responsibility, it's our my own dedicated so tool I have to implement in my organization. So that one we can deploy through our data center wise. So why public sector company they will not trust here? There are a lot of confidential data will be there. Take example police department. So a lot of PI related or GDPR related complaints of the data will be there. So that is the reason most of the public sector ministries or government sector or any healthcare based industry or banking sectors people they will not purchase these cloud based solutions basically. Okay, so let's go and discuss about, yes, cloud based, that's correct. So now here someone asked already, for 1000 machines we can go and deploy manual way, it is easy for us to deploy. What about 1 lakh machines are existing in the organization? Take example of TCS Energy Park, Hyderabad location. So they have more than 50,000 employees or 30,000 employees. For all those employees, if we want to deploy EDR solution, can I go to each and every laptop and can I install our EDR agent? It will take longer time. Take example yesterday whatever we discussed State Bank of India also. So State Bank of India, there are so many so branch offices are there across the India and also even outside of the India as well, branch offices. So that means maybe couple of branch offices are in Dubai, means I have to go to Dubai and I have to install the respective EDR agents. No, we can do remote installations basically. How that is possible? So whether I can go to the, for example, maybe headquarter is there State Bank of India Mumbai location. So now if I want to install any EDR agent or antivirus agent related to Hyderabad branch offices, whether I have to go to visit to each and every Hyderabad branch office and I have to install? No. So what we have to do, we have to segregate based on the operating system wise all those Hyderabad machines or all the Bangalore machines or all the so Chennai related assets or machines. Now directly from EDR tool itself, we can push all those agents to remote or branch offices or else. So for enterprise level, implementations, nothing but large number of the deployments, large number of EDR implementations or deployments. In that scenario, we can use directly from EDR console to push the all EDR agents to remote installations or remote branch offices directly from our main headquarters. EDR tool itself we can do. Second one, using one of the very important SCCM, server center configuration manager. So using this one or maybe using WUCS, Windows Update Central Service. It's a server. So using these three options, we can deploy 1 lakh machines at a time. So even though we can deliver the project within 1 week time period. Okay. So same question when I went to Bangalore DXC Technology interview for security architect 5 years back. They asked the same question. So one of the customer has 1 lakh machines are available as endpoints. So this is final round of the interview for me. So in that final round, they asked about this question only. So how can you do the deployment? We want to deliver the project within 3 to 4 days. So based on what parameter you can go and you can implement EDR entire for 1 lakh machines. What are the different possible options you can use it? So that time I forgot the answer basically. I was saying something else. I will use automation techniques. I will use PowerShell or I will use Python. I will use Perl related any automation, and I will push that particular agent to all the machines. So suddenly I did not get in my mind striking of that particular SCCM concept. And also I forgot EDR. From EDR itself directly we can push the updates. So everything I'm saying like automation, and also I can do the so any execution of the PowerShell or Python using that one, I can push those updates to all the endpoints. So finally, that interviewer continuously is expecting the answer whether I will give the answer or not. Finally, he said the answer. So through SCCM or through EDR, through WUCS, we can install the project at a time, and we can complete the project within 1 week less, or within 3 days or 4 days as well. But anyway, I selected, but he is a little bit kind hearted, and he selected me. So here, so that's what I'm saying. So these are all the things are basic things only, but sometimes at the time of the anxiety, excitement, and also at the time of the panel, by seeing them, we will forget even though we know the answers. Be cautious whenever you are attending the interviews as well, and don't forget all these basic concepts. Okay, so now coming back to here. So EDR tool. So from EDR tool, we can segregate based on the operating system wise, and we can push the updates to all Microsoft EDR agents is one portion, all MacBook related iOS versions one portion. In the similar way, all so Unix related operating system is one portion. So we have to push all those updates. In case EDR agent is not able to install on all those targeted mission, now we have to do debugging or troubleshooting, fixing of those issues we have to do. Maybe 1 lakh machines you pushed at a time, that EDR agent. Out of 1 lakh, 90,000 machines are installed. Remaining 10,000 machines did not install. Now, whatever machine did not install, we go on, you can check the health checkup status. What is mean health checkup status here? EDR agent status will show like a sleeping or unknown or inactive or maybe active. So whatever inactive or unknown or sleeping status it is showing, those machines we have to make sure that EDR should be wake up. So whatever the 10,000 machines did not install the EDR agent, we can go and we can troubleshoot and we can reinstall once again. So that is the way how we can troubleshoot it. Okay. So that's all for today morning. It's not completed yet. Just we started our EDR portion. So we are discussing about designs, implementations, how to install and where to install. So we started. So it will take another 1 or 2 days class for EDR itself. So that's all for today morning. And today evening I will take class around 7 p.m. IST. 6 p.m. is it possible for you? 6 p.m.
Yes.
Yeah, then I will take
Yes.
Yeah, I will take evening class at 6 p.m. because a couple of people are attending from Australia. So for them, it's actually midnight. So yeah, so
Right,
today
right.
evening I will take class around 6 p.m.
Thank you, RK.
Yeah, any questions do you have? Please, guys, please understand the concept. These questions, even you can crack the interview if are going for implementation side as well. So 100% I'm giving surety. So if you are following my classes, you can crack implementations, you can crack even architect level of the interviews as well. It's completely depending on how much you are grabbing and how much you are grasping. Okay. So that's all for today morning. Yeah, we will continue today evening at 6 p.m. IST.
Okay.
Yeah, please.
So you said about installation part, right?
Yeah.
About the troubleshooting and all. Even
Yes.
the system updates fall into that, right?
Yes, correct. Even updating of EDR agent also will fall under the one type of fine tuning basically. So whenever EDR agent new version it is appear, as a EDR analyst, first and foremost, first of all, what is EDR roles and responsibility? So first thing is, as a EDR analyst, whenever you are working on the EDR tool, first and foremost, your roles and responsibility, first point is health checkup. What is mean by health checkup here? Whatever EDR agents you installed, whether all the EDR agent status showing as a active or inactive, or else so sleeping, or else unknown status. Why we have to verify this one as health checkup report? In case any EDR agent showing as a inactive or unknown or sleeping, so obviously that particular same time period, maybe our end user or attacker is trying to do malware infection. Our system will get compromised. Finally, EDR agent will not give the alert notification or communication to EDR tool. Maybe because of this reason, other systems also will get compromised as a lateral movement or maybe warm. So that is the reason. First thing is, as an EDR person, whenever you want to validate anything, you have to validate first and foremost our EDR agent status, whether it is showing as inactive or unknown or sleeping. After that, so second thing is your roles and responsibility EDR side. Whatever alerts are triggered related to malware category of the attack, for example, PowerShell execution, for example, Albin's execution, or maybe malware execution, or maybe ransomware execution, or maybe Python execution related alerts are triggered. So these are all the regular alerts we'll receive on the EDR tool side. So based on the severity, based on the risk score, so here severity like a critical, high or medium or low or informational, and severity wise, these are all risk score 0 to 100. So greater than 80 to 100, always we have to consider as a critical. 60 to 80 we have to consider as a high, but anyway it will give status as well. So next one 40 to 60, it's like a medium, remaining like a low or informational. So according to the severity and according to risk score, now you have to prioritize the incidents. This is also one of the interview question. How can you prioritize the incidents? Based on what parameter? What the parameter? So based on the risk score, based on the severity of the incident. Okay, so later you can go on, you can create ticket in the ticketing tool. Then you can do the tracing of the incident. Then you can see the ADR action, whether it is a block or quarantine or save or allow. And thereafter you can do the analysis part. So coming back to Priyanka, your question, yes, even EDR agent updates also one type of fine tuning and also troubleshooting and debugging.
While installing onto the agents, basically, if the agent itself is having the windows or issues also will be a problem, right? Without it getting
Yeah,
installed.
yes, that is also a problem. That is the reason always whenever you are installing EDR agent, first and foremost, make compatibility. What is meant by compatibility here? So maybe you are using Windows 7 in your organization, but our latest version of the example CrowdStrike Falcon sensor is 9.0. Maybe compatibility issues will occur. You are using Windows 7, but you're installing CrowdStrike 9.0. So you now, whenever you're pushing 9.0 Falcon sensor agent to Windows 7, compatibility issues will occur and agent will not install. Maybe you have to go now previous versions. Maybe Falcon sensor agent maybe 7.0 or 8.0. Whatever Windows 7 compatibility is provided by the our vendor, we have to see that compatibility and also we have to install that particular agent only. Then only it will install. So those things also you have to verify. So whether latest version can be installed in our Windows 7, because couple of organizations they will not upgrade their servers, they will not upgrade their assets, or they will not upgrade their Windows machines or Unix machines as well because of the application compatibility and performance related issues. All those verification also we have to do before installing our EDR agents or any other agent as well.
And
Yeah,
even though they will have issues, right? If at all we are using the
yeah, obviously.
outdated.
Yes. So even though, yes, we are installing even the compatibility issues, there are no compatibility issues. Whenever we are installing, because of the network communication side issues, or maybe because of the port issues, because of the routing related issues, it will not install. Now you have to do the Wireshark and so do the packet caps analysis in between sender and also in between the target information also EDR tool. So why the EDR is agent is not able to install? First, you can do troubleshooting from your side. Still, you are not able to identify what is the root cause and how it is not able to fix it. In that scenario, now you can raise a case with the vendor. What is my case with the vendor here? So I forgot to say one thing. We have to purchase premium support as well. So that will cost around $10,000 to $2,000. Whenever any issues will occur, we can raise a case with the vendor. In this scenario, who is our vendor? Maybe CrowdStrike. So I will raise a case with the vendor. then they will come to online and they will support us. So this is the where you have done some mistakes. This is the way how you can rectify. That is the last step basically. First step, you have to troubleshoot from your side. If everything is you have done, but still agent is not able to install, finally you can raise a case with the vendor related to technical support case. So this is the approach you have to follow.
Sir, Windows servers and based on the OS, we can segregate, right?
Yes.
So, for example, we are using R1, R2 Windows
Hmm.
servers, and a normal Windows operating system is different. When we are updating the agent patch updates, for example, compatibility issue coming into normal systems but not in servers, then what we can do, sir?
So for Windows systems, for both Windows operating system, Windows servers, agent normal almost equal only. So, but coming back to when you are installing agent on server side, so just like that, you should go and you should not do implementation. What we have to do, so before implementing EDR agent in our Windows servers or Unix servers, first we have to install in the development environment or testing environment. After installing this particular EDR agent on top of the Windows server or on top of the Unix server, is there any application breakage or outage it is occurring? So is there any compatibility issues are occurring? In case our EDR agent is installed on these Windows servers, what is the performance related CPU utilization, RAM utilization, bandwidth utilization you have to verify. For especially, see, server can be accessed by multiple people, but end user machines can be accessed by single persons only. So they so business impact analysis is less as compared to server side. So before implementing any server side EDR agents, first and foremost you should identify all these analysis. First thing is you should install in your development environment or testing environment, take one or two servers and install EDR agent, and you can verify the whatever applications are running on top of these servers, all the applications are working properly, or is there any unavailability issues, or is there service unavailable issues is occurring. You have to validate all those. That is on the application side. Second thing is on the performance side. On the performance side, in case our EDR agent is installing, what is the status of the performance related to CPU utilization, whether it is crossing more than 70%, whether bandwidth is crossing more than 70%, whether RAM utilization is crossing more than 70%, everything you have to verify. Later only you have to go and you have to implement in the production environment. This is what it's happened when I was working in X company, related to product based company. We are developing a products. So without testing in the development environment and testing environment, what we have done, Sentinel-1 EDR agent, we have to install on all these production servers. Suddenly, the spikes of the traffic related to utilization, CPU, RAM, and also bandwidth, it is crossed more than 90%. So more than 90% is crossed. Obviously, within the less time of the time period, maybe server will get damaged, crashed, or unavailable. So later, what we have done, immediately we uninstall the respective agent. Later, we have tested in the development environment. So, and we identified a couple of application related issues it is causing, and we fix those issues, and finally we implement a production environment. This is what we have to do. So for Windows server side, Unix server side, first and foremost you have to validate all these test cases. Thereafter, then only you have to implement production environment. Is it clear?
Who will do, sir? Implementation team, right? Before installing.
So
Any
with the
particular-
coordination of server team, we have to do. Your example, Ramesh is a EDR implementation guy. Now you should coordinate with the servers team. Along with the server team, you should implement these EDR solutions. It's not your job, because server is not handling by you. Who is handling servers? Another team. So with the coordination with the servers team, we have to go and we have to implement. What is our role to implement EDR agents in server side? Verifying of the EDR agent version compatibility, and also, so is there any legacy EDR agent we have to install? All those verification, and also we have to provide how much bandwidth utilization is required for EDR agent installation, how much RAM utilization is required, how much space is required to install the agent. That information we have to provide to service team. That is our role from EDR implementation side. Is it clear?
Okay.
Segregation
Okay,
between
sir.
server
Yes, yes.
versus EDR. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Entire organization 5,000 machines are Windows machines, like just
Yeah.
assume it, and in that 3,000 are normal machines.
Hmm.
So 3,000 missions updates, agent updates are ready. So we are going to update the agent.
Yes.
Before updating, can we have to, I mean, can we do check any compatibility issue? Is it our role or something else? Is it
So you
available update
you can
means?
provide, yeah, because you don't have server access. What you have to do, whatever latest EDR agent version is there, and whatever server is there, so just you can compare these two whether it is compatibility. Where we can verify all this information, just you can go to EDR tool under software updates. Under software updates we have, so whatever latest software agents versions will be there, we can go and we can there itself we can identify everything information. Now we can give that EDR agent to respective server team. Server team will do testing part on behalf of us. Okay, so now in case any issues it is causing, now they will inform back to us whatever legacy version prior version is there. Now we can give that version to the once again server team, and server team they will install by uninstalling the previous one. And so later they can check the respective compatibility as well as the performance related, and also is there any breaking of the applications they can verify. In case it's well good, they can continue that particular EDR agent to remaining servers as well. So this is the way how we can do the coordination collaboration with the servers team.
Sir, one more doubt, sir.
Yeah.
In normal mission, 3,000 mission, I mean, not server,
Hmm.
3,000 Windows machines should be maintained with the same kind of OS or different, sir, will be. I mean,
No, it
Windows
depends
7.
on,
Okay, okay.
yeah, it depends on organization. See, that we cannot decide. So whether whoever is using the server, maybe workstations are Windows 7 only, but laptops are Windows 10. Maybe MacBooks are some other version, or desktops are some other version. So as I said, segregate based on the OS and based on the brand number or model number. So maybe you are segregating Windows 7 and Windows 8 and Windows 9 and Windows 10 like a single operating system. It will not work out. All Windows 7 are one operating system. All Windows 8 are one operating system. All Windows 9 are one operating. In such a way, we have to do segregation part. That's what I said previously also. Segregate based on the model number along with OS number. So then only we can go and we can install the respective, if it is legacy one, otherwise the latest stable version of the EDR agent, latest stable version of the EDR agent. Okay, so that information, how we can get it? We can get it from the asset inventory team or maybe CMDB. What is CMDB? Configuration
Configuration
Management
management
Database.
database.
Yeah. So there we can get all this information related to asset inventory or else. So all the what type of different types of operating system along with model number or brand numbers.
It means vendor can release based on this OS type of also, sir. Basically, they can Windows for only one for Windows
No.
machines. So,
Based on the operating system model number, all Windows 7 is one OS version. All Windows 8 one of the Windows agent version. All Unix are one of the agent. So based on the OS.
okay, if it is working fine, then we will continue. Otherwise, we will revert back. We will
Yes,
use the
correct.
old version. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
RK.
Yeah,
So
please.
basically, when we talk about this different types of operating system, right?
Yeah.
So when we are using the legacy Windows 7, do we
Hmm.
need to purchase separately to that, or
No.
it will
There is
support
no need
itself?
to purchase. Sorry to interrupt you. There is no need to purchase separately, Priyanka. So because whatever licensing you purchased, it's for legacy or it's maybe new or latest stable also, it's the same cost. There is no different cost. So there is no need to purchase separately.
Okay.
Yeah, it's common.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Because there would be the support issues and all, right? So that is the reason why I was asking.
Yeah. That's why it's better always we have to upgrade, especially on the Windows end user side. It's okay. We will not face any issues, but server side will face issues. Even in my current organization, we are using Red Hat Enterprise Linux 5.x. It's
Mhm.
already long back. It's already end of life and end of support. Even Windows Server also we are using 2008. 2008 is long back. It's already end of life and end of support. So whenever we are contacting application development team, they will say like you can contact the server team. Whenever we are contacting server team, they will contact like please contact application development, because on top of these servers, lot of product development is happening. So this is where we are facing a lot of issues. Fortunately, those servers are not non-internet facing servers. So that is the reason parallelly any one of the project is going on, they are upgrading all the server to latest servers. Yeah. Anyways, any other questions?
No.
Okay, guys. Then see you evening at
Sir, I
6 p.m.
have a question.
IST. Yeah, please.
If you are using old versions of agent, we
Hmm.
will be in a situation of vulnerability.
Yeah. So
Then
that vulnerability management is different concept. So vulnerabilities, whatever we are identifying, we have to run the scans against OS, and we have to generate what are the libraries or packages are missing. Is there any end of life related or end of support related libraries and packages we are using? So we can generate that report and we can inform to servers team. Servers team has to do the patching up those particular vulnerabilities list, whatever it is identified. So we have patch policy. Every organization it will maintain the patch policy. In case critical vulnerabilities, we have to fix in the 10 working days, and high related vulnerabilities, we have to fix in the 30 working days. Low and medium, we have to fix in 90 working days. In case server team is not able to fix it, just why they are not able to fix it, what are the performance related issues or compatibility related issues will occur. So from our side, we can explain about security. Whole and sole responsibility and accountability has been taken care by server team itself. So here security will not fall, and they will not take in responsibility and accountability. In case still they will not fix for another 1 year or another 2 years, we have to put in the risk register. So all these vulnerabilities are existing on all these servers. So we are already made from our point of view, from security point of view. Already for this one, we raised a risk in our organization point of view. We validated the likelihood, we validated the impact. This much financial loss is there whenever server got compromised, but server team is not able to handle. So now accountability and responsibility not in our security hands. Accountability and responsibility completely can be taken care by server team. So this is the way always we should be safe and secure in nature. So we have to take care of it should not be accountability and responsibility in our hands. This one already we discussed part of ports and protocols. Whenever any port, dangerous ports, if you want to open, so they have to take the whole and sole responsibility related to accountant responsibility, and they have to accept the risk, not security team. So please make sure that these things should also in mind. Any other?
sir, some one of the end user wants to download some file. Uh,
Okay.
EDR is blocking. I mean, preventing from download.
Hmm.
Then how the task will complete? I mean,
Yeah, same thing. So whenever any file, maybe example, one of the DevOps guy, from he's going to GitHub and he wants to download one of the PowerShell related file. So the DevOps guy is going to GitHub and he's downloading PowerShell related file, but unfortunately our EDR agent is blocking. Now what is that DevOps guy will do? He will raise a case with your EDR agent is blocking this particular activity. So now that particular case will come to us. It's a business case now, because if he does not download that particular file, maybe his business will be lost, right? He's not able to continue his task. That particular case, when once it will come to us, now we have to go and we have to do the analysis. Why our EDR agent is blocking this one? Take the hash value of the file and go and check the reputation of the file in the virustotal.com or any other. In case that file contains any malicious content of the hash value, so that is the reason our EDR agent is blocking. So now you can inform to the respective DevOps guy stating that this file has a malicious content. That is the reason our EDR agent is blocking. So if you are accepting the risk from business case and you are taking the accountability and responsibility, from our side, we can go and we can inform this is the way. So still some of the issues are occurring and he's not accepting, then we can raise a case with the vendor. So water file from the GitHub DevOps guy is downloading related to PowerShell, is there any real infection is existing? Then we can raise a case with the vendor, and vendor also is saying, yes, in case malware is existing on that file, our EDR agent is blocking, then we can inform the same thing to our business case to DevOps guy. So then he has to take the responsibility, accountability, whether he wants to accept the risk or whether he wants to not download the file. It's completely depending on the business case. Any other? All
Yes, sir.
these are
Thank
like exclusions, basically global exclusions, local exclusions. We can discuss all these things at the time of the EDR tool discussion part. Any other? Okay, guys, then thank you so much. See you at 6 p.m. IST. Have a great day.
Thank you, sir. Have a good day to you.
Thank you so much.